6 days from today, on April 3rd, new tariffs hit cars coming into the U.S. from other countries, a 25% tariff.
U.S. President Donald Trump said on Wednesday he will impose an additional 25% tariff on imported cars and some auto parts.
Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba warns that trade negotiations with the U.S. won't be.
The American automotive industry has been navigating stormy waters for quite some time. While former President Donald Trump's America First tariffs were designed to offer breathing space to domestic manufacturers, unexpected moves by Japanese auto giants have added fuel to the fire, placing the industry at the heart of a growing conflict. For decades, brands like Toyota, Honda, and Nissan have earned the admiration of American consumers. But in response to the Trump administration's tariffs, they have become more assertive. Some say they've pulled the trigger on the U.S. market. A sudden surge in purchases, especially of Toyota hybrids and Honda's compact SUVs, has led to an outright explosion in sales. According to Bloomberg data, Toyota's North American sales soared by nearly 15 to 20% in April. Analysts attribute this to consumers rushing to buy before tariffs are enforced. This wave of demand caused Toyota's shares to climb sharply on the Tokyo Stock Exchange, which only intensified the Trump administration's response. Of course, Japanese dominance in the U.S. car market is nothing new, but Trump's bold move, a proposed 25% tariff on all vehicles not manufactured within the U.S.
What we're going to be doing is a 25% tariff on all cars that are not made in the United States. If they're made in the United States, it's absolutely no tariff.
Was a clear message. Protect local industry, no matter the cost. Ironically, this effort may backfire. Brands like Toyota and Honda already operate numerous plants in states such as Kentucky, Indiana, and Alabama. While considered foreign, their vehicles are deeply woven into the American supply chain. The average consumer doesn't just trust these brands. They rely on them. The central question remains, who and what will be affected by these tariffs? Japanese automakers source parts from various countries, Japan, Mexico, even Canada, while final assembly often occurs in the U.S. It's a complex web. Determining which components or models fall under which customs jurisdiction remains unclear. This ambiguity has triggered panic. Many are rushing to dealerships in anticipation of price hikes. Toyota's North American leadership has confirmed that this anxiety is precisely why sales have spiked. Meanwhile, the Trump administration seems to ignore warnings from within the industry. Even American giants GM, Ford, and Stellantis have expressed concerns, warning that the tariffs could lead to job losses and bankruptcies. Why? Because Japanese manufacturers are nimble. They spent decades building flexible supply chains with backup production hubs around the world. They can reroute production, adapt sourcing, and stay competitive even under duress. Even rumors of Toyota receiving partial exemption from tariffs due to hybrid production in the U.S. boosted its stock value significantly. Demand for eco-friendly vehicles continues to grow, and this green shift favors Toyota. Honda, too, appears ready to expand its American footprint. We will increase U.S. production to counter the tariffs, the company has hinted. Though not everything can be moved instantly, the optics matter to Trump and his allies. Such moves signal that the tariffs are working, but the truth is more nuanced. Honda can just as easily source parts from other Asian nations to reduce tariff impact. Nissan, which has struggled recently in the U.S. market, is also aiming for a comeback, focusing on mid-range SUVs. If tariffs hit hard, Nissan could suffer further losses. However, if Trump's administration extracts investment promises from Japan, Nissan may receive certain exemptions as part of the deal. This tug-of-war resembles a high-stakes chess match. Japanese automakers aren't trying to destroy the American industry, but they are certainly protecting their interests. Should Trump double down, Japanese firms may respond with strategic countermeasures, placing U.S. automakers in an even more difficult position. Meanwhile, Canada adds another layer to this already tangled narrative. Ottawa has warned of retaliatory tariffs on American cars, moves that could significantly raise the cost of U.S. vehicles in Canada. This, in turn, might shift Canadian buyers toward Toyota, Honda, Nissan, or even European and Korean brands. Canada is also capable of playing a powerful card: energy. The U.S. relies heavily on Canadian electricity and LNG, especially in northern states. If Canada were to impose tariffs or cut supplies in response to U.S. actions, the consequences could be severe. Electricity shortages, higher energy costs, and logistical chaos in refineries could follow. In this light, a trade war that began with automobiles could extend into the energy sector. By the end of 2024, Japanese brands held nearly 37% of the U.S. auto market. Toyota at 15%, Honda 8%, Nissan 6%, with Subaru and Mazda making up the rest. This stronghold isn't accidental. It reflects innovation, reliability, and consumer loyalty. Even if tariffs cause short-term disruptions, Toyota and Honda's substantial U.S. assembly operations could shield them from the worst. If Trump targets only vehicles made in Japan, it would mostly affect luxury imports like Lexus. Meanwhile, popular models like the Toyota RAV4 and Honda CR-V are built in the U.S. This makes a blanket tariff complicated, if not impractical. Nevertheless, the uncertainty is roiling markets. Toyota's shares surge, fueled by hybrid expansion and potential tariff exemptions, suggests the company may strike a compromise, boosting local production in exchange for leniency. Honda may follow suit, particularly at its major Ohio plant. Nissan's strategy remains unclear, but expansion announcements are likely. Ironically, U.S. carmakers like GM and Ford are uneasy. Will tariffs protect them or disrupt their own part supply chains? Korean and European firms are also in the mix, and tariff confusion could upset the entire global system. In the midst of it all, Japanese brands are running aggressive pre-tariff sales campaigns, creating a last-chance frenzy. Bloomberg's April sales data confirms an unusual spike in activity, especially at Toyota dealerships. This gives the Trump administration ammo. See? The Japanese are cashing in before the tariffs hit. Time will tell whether this leads to a harsher stance or is seen as validation of the strategy. But with Canada now in the picture, the trade war risks spiraling further. The interconnectedness of energy and auto markets means that retaliation could spread beyond cars to power, oil, and gas. Ultimately, while Japanese manufacturers might suffer initially, their flexibility could help them weather the storm. American firms, on the other hand, may face deeper losses if costs rise and investments stall. If Canada escalates with energy tariffs, Washington may respond aggressively, deepening the crisis. Toyota's sales bump and Honda's pledge to expand U.S. operations show that where there's risk, there's also opportunity. Consumers are anxious, investors are wary, and political decisions are sending shockwaves through global trade. Where this ends is unclear. But for now, waking up to new headlines every morning has become the norm for the automotive industry.